5 ways to know your transmission is on its last leg. Number 1, it has transmission flutter. You may ask, what is transmission flutter? That is when you're accelerating and it goes to shift gears and the RPMs flutter. That means they go up a little bit before shifting. Say you're at a dead stop, you press the accelerator pedal, it begins to accelerate, RPMs begin to climb, it goes to shift into second gear, and the RPMs just flutter a little bit before they shift. So they go up, and then it catches and it shifts. This is a telltale sign that your transmission is worn and it probably is going to fail at some point down the road. Number 2, you're experiencing hard shifts. Now, it may not flutter like I mentioned earlier, but it could be hard shifting. When you go and drive and it shifts gears, it's kind of sudden, harsh, and you just feel it shuddering through the whole drivetrain. This is not typically normal in vehicles. They should be pretty smooth. You should not feel the shifting. But if it's real hard and it almost kind of is violent, this is not a good sign. It's probably damaging the inside of the transmission by doing that, and you should probably get it checked out. Number 3, you hear a grinding noise when the transmission shifts. Any type of noise coming from the transmission when it is shifting is not normal. That includes grinding noises. A transmission should be completely silent when it's operating, when it's shifting. You should not hear any noise coming from underneath the car. So if you do, clunking, grinding, all of that is not normal, abnormal, and it should be checked out immediately. Number 4, if the transmission is slipping when it shifts gears. This is probably the most common and telltale sign of a transmission failure that is imminent, is when it goes to shift into gear and it slips. So it flies way up in the RPM range and then it catches and shifts down into the next gear. Shifts up into the next gear, excuse me. If this is happening with your transmission, there is probably a high chance it's going to fail within a couple thousand miles. There may be ways to curb that with changing the fluid or having the service center do something like put some kind of transmission additive in your transmission. It could extend it a little bit, but most likely it will fail pretty quickly after you start experiencing transmission slip. Number 5, if the transmission got too hot. Now, this may not be as common to track or as easy to track on a vehicle because not every vehicle has a transmission temp gauge, but when transmissions overheat and they get too hot, it causes the fluid to burn, and it actually makes the fluid like water, essentially. The lubricating properties of the ATF fluid just disappear. So it can actually start to weld pieces of the transmission together from all the heat inside of it. So if at any point you overheat a transmission, you just knocked a huge amount of life out of that transmission, and it's probably going to have to be rebuilt shortly thereafter.